In the two states where there have been multiple incidents of violence that have been reported at these Garba events, let's bring in Hemendra Sharma, who's joining us live from Bhopal, Saurabh Bhaktania, who's reporting from Ahmedabad. Hemendra, I'd like to begin with you. Good evening. In the state of Madhya Pradesh, there's actually an order from the Madhya Pradesh government to actually check the ID cards of everyone who enters inside these Garba event venues, yes?
Well, yes, the Home Minister in the run-up to the Garba had said that anyone who comes to a Garba Pandal, he has to get his identity card along with him, and the organizers have to check it. And this was targeted at one particular community belonging to the minorities. The minority community was not just by the Home Minister but also the Cultural Minister of Madhya Pradesh. They asked them not to come to these pandals, and the organizers, who are the organizers who are checking them? These are Bajrang Dal people who are there at these pandals. They are checking these youths, and there have been incidents, a minor incident in Bhopal, but major incidents in Ujjain and Indore where youth belonging to a particular minority community, they were found inside these Garba pandals, they were thrashed, they were beaten, and then they were taken out of these events. So the Home Minister gave this direction before the Garbas started across the state, and now as they are happening in the state, Bajrang Dal activists, they are pointing out and figuring out these youth belonging to one particular minority community, and in some cases also thrashing them.
And many of these incidents, no action has been taken. Essentially, there's been a free passage given to these right-wing groups to go ahead and take law into their own hands and act like a moral police of sorts on the ground at these Garba event venues. Emboldened, no doubt, by the government's also step here by saying go ahead and check the ID cards of anyone who enters these venues. Saurabh, I'll just come to you in a bit. I want to also get into the aspect of why is it that these right-wing groups right now are crying foul and saying that we cannot allow anyone who's not a Hindu to be a part of the festivities, the Navratri festivities, and be a part of the Garba event. Let's talk about that and the claims that have been made by these Hindu groups so far. Now, several of them have come out and said that this is an auspicious time for Hindus. It's not just a dance cultural fest, but something that holds deep religious significance for us. Now, when we had a conversation with many of these right-wing groups, here's what they said. They said that this is not a cultural practice, it's a religious practice for Hindus. And that's why anyone who believes in what we believe in our traditions and our values, can be a part of the celebrations. They've also said that essentially it's a celebration of 9 forms of Ma Durga. And what you see at these Garba venues are songs that are in praise of Ma Durga. They're performed in Hindu places of worship. Remember, at these Garba event venues, pujas are also held, which is why these groups are saying that it is an auspicious moment. It's not something that's just a dance fest. And that's why they're saying it's linked to our religion. These are the points that have been made by these groups to go ahead and defend and justify the steps they've taken in the last few days. Let me bring in Saurabh Bhaktania on this broadcast. He's reporting from Ahmedabad. Saurabh, good evening. In Gujarat also, we've seen multiple instances, like in Madhya Pradesh, of violence, of vigilantism really by these right-wing groups. Has any action been taken by the government, at least a warning that's been sounded off?
Well, absolutely, Akshita. Very good morning, and let me tell you that the Bajrang Dal activists along with the VHP activists are actually going on a random checks. They are going out on a loose spree. Basically, they are going to different Navratri pandals in Gujarat, especially in Ahmedabad, and they are actually doing surprise check. What also Akshita, they are doing is they stand outside such Navratri pandal in Ahmedabad. Here, this is one such pandal in riverfront in Ahmedabad. It will start at around 8:30 to 9 p.m. So what the Bajrang Dal and VHP activists do is they stand outside such Navratri pandal, they come up with the tilak, and whoever come to such Navratri pandal, they apply tilak on their faces. So this is how the things are going on. And like you asked that what actions have been taken, we try to speak to the government official, the police official, they're completely silent on it. No suo moto, no action of that sort. In fact, the Bajrang Dal and the VHP people are clearly telling us that they are bringing in more such teams who can go to more such places and do such surprise checks. So the situation is such that I spoke to some of the Muslim families in Ahmedabad itself. They clearly told us that for earlier years they used to go with whole family to such Navratri Pandal, but this year they are afraid, because on the very first day, Akshita, such incident had taken place where the Muslim youths in Sindhu, Bhavan, Ahmedabad were beaten up for going inside the Navratri Pandal. So what the Muslim families are telling us now, that this year they have avoided to go to any Navratri Pandal, and this year they are not going anywhere.